of this. And I'm going to do a screen share real quick. All right. Can everybody see my screen okay? I got Facebook up. Don't need that up. That just dings at me the whole time. All right, slideshow from the beginning. All right, here we go. All right, again, welcome to Thursday night Heart and Body Naturals product information call. My name is Landy Martin. I'm a Sapphire Director here and a product trainer. I'm super honored that you took some time out of your busy schedule tonight to join me and the Detox Divas. Just want to say these girls on here are incredible leaders. We're blessed with a lot of knowledge and just real go-getters on this leadership team. So thank you for joining us. I'm so excited. We've got the one and only Dr. Ivy Pruss. She's absolutely amazing. And she's going to be talking about black seed oil tonight, going really in depth. Before we get started, this is just a slide on Heart Body Naturals quality. I want you to know that we start with pure raw ingredients. We never have anything artificial in our products. They're all 100% bioavailable, so your body's going to know what to do with them. And you're not going to have to ever worry about finding something in there that's not supposed to be there, okay? So these are just a few of our manufacturing partners, and they hold one or more of the following certifications that you see here. Let me move that out of the way. And we work with a world-renowned formulator. Her name is Alexandria Brighton. If you're new to the call, she is, you might have heard of the Brighton Institute. She is a world-renowned Ayurvedic medical formulator. She's been in the industry over 30 years. She's a master herbalist and aromatherapist. We're so blessed to have her. She formulates a lot of our products. And with that said, anything you hear about on this call is not designed to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any disease, and individual results always vary. So I want to announce, I'm super, super excited. We have our 3-day liver cleanse that's starting on June 3rd, going through the 5th. And guys, we've done this 2 other times in our detox group. It's the Fulvic Detox and Slimmer group, and it's the official group. So please ask whoever invited you to this call to invite you to that group. That's where we have all of our cleanses and everything like that. And we're going to be starting another cleanse June 3rd. Now, this is really going to prepare us because we are going to do a parasite cleanse. And the tentative dates for that parasite cleanse are going to be 5 days later after the liver cleanse. And it's going to run 10 days, I believe. I don't have the exact dates, but if you will get involved in our group, you can participate in the parasite cleanse as well as the liver cleanse. Wanted to announce those, super excited about it. We have also, if you're going to do this cleanse, a VP qualifying box that you can get. And corporate just did these when we were going to do these cleanses, which I think is amazing. It makes it really helpful for us. So this is the complete parasite detox. And we also have a 3-day liver cleanse kit now. So without further ado, I'm so excited to introduce to you Dr. Ivy Pruss. She's a board certified naturopathic doctor, a clinical herbalist, licensed holistic practitioner, homeschool mama to 5. And I mean, you never know it. She literally looks 17 in her picture, but that is a testament to what healthy living does for you, okay? She's been in the field over 18 years, so we're talking lots of experience here. She has a focus in epigenetics and DNA, and teaching is her passion, and I am telling you, she is good at that. She loves assisting people and achieving a better quality of life, and she does that very, very well. I have worked with Ivy now almost 5 years, and I just love her. She is amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to unshare my screen, and Ivy is going to pull up her screen, and she is going to take over and teach us a class on Blackseed.
Okay.
All right, Ivy.
Thank you so much, Landy. I am so happy to be here with you guys this evening. I'm always grateful for the opportunity to spend time with you guys and just really do what I love and teach you guys about these amazing supplements. A little bit of personal housekeeping for me. Although I am a board certified naturopathic doctor, I am not your particular healthcare practitioner. So anything that I teach on and that I'm showing you guys tonight is not to be misconstrued as any medical advice. And anything you guys choose to go ahead and do, make sure you clear it with whoever your healthcare provider is. I am going to do this here. Yes. It's asking me for a password, Landy. let me cancel this.
Sorry. There, we can see your screen.
Oh, you can. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect then. Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
So I'm going to move this over here. I'm gonna do this and let's see if this works for me. Last time I had problem.
There it
Okay,
goes.
well, this is working out great. Okay, so many of you guys were with us when we went over Blackseed oil. I think it was over a month ago. I just briefly went over how amazing it is, and so tonight I want to focus on a few more in detail things about it. I don't know about you guys, but when I pick supplements, now that I've been in this field for quite some time, I try to pick supplements that are known for being powerful at a specific thing. We can all know, those of us here who are crunchy, who love holistic living, there are so many things that kind of overlap in what they do. And so when something stands out in being really good at a particular thing, I really love that. And it just makes it all the more better. So this is a quick little recap for those of you who are joining us this time who didn't get an opportunity to be with me the last time. Just a little background on blackseed oil. Its scientific name is Nigella sativa, aka it's also called black cumin seed oil or also black caraway oil. This is going to be native to the Mediterranean, to North Africa, and the Indian subcontinent. This brings tremendous benefits, not only internally, but also externally used as well. Now, we can see this recorded in history at least 3,500 years ago, and specific studies on TQ began about a century ago. Okay, so this isn't anything new to us. We've got documentation. You can scour PubMed and you can see how phenomenal it is. Now, we already know, we covered on the first time that you guys were able to be with me here, we already know that BSO is good for such an amount of things. It targets arthritis, allergies, asthma, obesity, cholesterol, diabetes, the list goes on. What I want to focus on tonight are two particular things. One of them is degenerative diseases, okay? Now that is just a basic umbrella term. You can just shove in here cancer, okay? Cancer is a degenerative disease. It just breaks the host down. So when something is degenerative, it is breaking the host down. So I just want to say one of the reasons that I am so in love with blackseed oil is for this next bullet point right here. I focus a lot on epigenetics and DNA, and I have a colleague who's absolutely amazing. When we reverse engineer drugs, or when we go through all of these specific genetic pathways, depending on the client or the patient file, whatever it is we're going to, whenever something leads us to P53, it can either be a home run or it can be, wow, we need to pay attention to this. I need you guys to understand what P53 is, okay? When you talk about genetics in the genetic world and epigenetics, P53, this is the guardian of your genome, okay? I want to say that again, the guardian of your genome. This is a protein that prevents cells, number one, with damaged DNA from continuing to divide themselves. And number two, when there is too much damage that's too great, it turns on the apoptosis, which means cell death. This is why this is nicknamed the guardian of the genome. So when there's a supplement or a product that targets P53 in a very positive way, you can hit a home run almost every time, okay? So we know that cancer cells, they propagate because what they do is they delete their programmed cell death. They do this via mutation. That's why if somebody has a genetic mutation at P53, we know they're going to lean towards cancer tendencies. Now, where cancers tend to show up in a person's body, that is very bio-individual. It's biochemically individual. Why some people develop pancreatic cancer or lung cancer or brain cancer. It is biochemically individual to that person depending on their genetics, okay? So when a supplement can target P53 and directly interact with it in a beneficial way, it doesn't get any better than that. It's the guardian of the genome because this is literally where the protection of the person happens. This P53, if it's not working the right way, cells are dividing out of control. They're growing out of control. They're bumping into each other out of control. They're metastasizing. They're sending messages to different parts of the body. P53, I want you to understand how important that is, because TQ has a direct effect and relationship with our P53. So when cancer cells delete their programmed cell death by mutating the P53 gene, okay, they don't die when they're supposed to. When they know that they're behaving incorrectly and that gene's supposed to flip on and they're supposed to just commit suicide, they don't do that. Also, before it gets to that point, when the cell is not operating correctly, when the cell's not cleaning toxic waste in and of itself out of it, that's also another misbehavior where the cell does something called autophagy. That means it cleans out dead parts, waste parts from within the cell. It's like you literally cleaning your house. We all know you're never done cleaning your house. Well, neither are our cells. They're never done. So they're responsible to make sure they eliminate all the waste. And when that doesn't happen, there's a switch that turns on and autophagy takes place and they start cleaning house. Now, P53 mutations. A mutation means that that genetic pathway is inactive at this time. Okay, now we know that genes can be turned on and they can be turned off. So I just want you to know that nothing is a death sentence, no matter what your genes say about you. So you should know that 50% of carcinomas, they've identified P53 genetic mutations. 90% of melanomas, P53 genetic mutations. You go on to gastric cancers, 60% of P53 mutations identified there. So P53, this is our tumor suppressing protein. It's encoded by the TP53 gene. This is what regulates the cell cycle, the way that the cell behaves during its lifetime. Apoptosis, autophagy, we covered those two terms in the bullets up above. Apoptosis is cell death. When you know you're not doing the right thing and behaving the right way, you're supposed to commit suicide. Autophagy is keeping yourself clean while you're alive. This is normal behavior for cells. They should be behaving this way. And anything that doesn't has the capacity to now turn into a cancer cell, because we already know cancer cells are just cells that don't behave the right way. Where they're going to migrate to and land and create a problem is going to be different for every individual. So this has an effect on cancer at every stage. TQ has an effect on cancer at every stage, whether it's the beginning proliferation stage, whether it's its migration stage, or whether it's an invasion stage. That's why it's effective for anything that can attack you in a very negative way, whether it's breast cancer, pancreatic, prostate, oral, bone, head and neck, cervical, liver, or lung cancer. It doesn't matter. This is such a potent antioxidant and inflammatory molecule. It's shown to alter signaling pathways to help the body behave the right way. So when we take this internally, we're doing an amazing service to our body. We're really, you're going in with a targeted method, right? This knows exactly where it's going to go to. So that was one of my favoriteest things I wanted to make sure I go over, and I had to create a whole slide. I mean, of course, we could go an hour just on this slide alone, but I just wanted you guys to basically understand. Over to the right here, you see what P53 looks like. When it's unwound in the ribbon format in the DNA helix, this is what it looks like. The mutations, if I'm correct, reading the words underneath, the mutations are showing up in yellow. So whenever the pathway is not activated, it's not working the right way, those mutations show up on those yellow colored parts of the P53 genome, okay? So if you're good, just raise your hand to Landy and say we're doing good. My next favorite thing about blackseed oil is its tremendous benefit for skin. I personally, myself, have formulated with blackseed oil for quite some time. I know how good it is for skin, both topically and both internally as well. So this is a very tough oil to match with anything else that is available for you to purchase and use for yourself. It is so rich in vitamins A, B, and C. It's loaded with fatty acids. We already know it's a super antioxidant, it's antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory properties. The same way that it behaves inside your body molecularly is very similar to how it's going to behave topically. Now, one cool thing that I wanted to cover with you guys is a 2021 study confirmed the therapeutic effects of Thymoquinone to UVA exposure. Okay, anytime you hear anything UVA, UVB, automatically I want you to think sun exposure, sun burning, or anything in that nature. Okay, this study confirmed its therapeutic effects, helping you mitigate sun damage. Now, so many times I have to make things clear to people that every individual is different. The amount of melanin that I have in my skin is going to be different than the amount of melanin all of you here tonight have in your skin. The amount of time I can spend in the sun differs from all the amount of time each of you can spend in the sun. You should also know the individual time that you can spend in the sun without getting scorched has to do with your vitality and how healthy you are. If your diet lacks antioxidants, we know that berry season for harvesting berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, they all happen at a particular time. It happens to be right before summertime. Depending on where you are geographically within the United States, it's roughly before summertime. Why? Because high consumption of antioxidants, fruits that contain antioxidants, give you greater UVA and UVB protection when you're out exposed to the sun. Does that mean that you should be out there in the heat of the sun for 2 hours a day? No. But what it does mean is that the better that your health is, the longer you can have time in the sun without coming out scorched like a lobster. The people that immediately get scorched by the sun within 15 to 20 minutes are low in antioxidants. Their health isn't where it should be. Their vitality isn't where it should be. In other words, the nutrients that your body needs to absolutely function for you at the highest capacity, there's a lot that has to be looked at in this person, okay? So I wanted you to see that in this 2021 study, they were able to identify TQ in the bloodstream just 24 hours after ingestion. They identified it in the bloodstream. Okay. And once it's in the bloodstream, we know that it can go absolutely everywhere that it's needed in the body. And this is how it helps damaging sun exposure. This is how it helps you lengthen your time in the sun to absorb more vitamin D, have more time in the sun without immediately getting scorched by the sun. Why? Because the moment that it's in the bloodstream, it's already working to reduce inflammatory cytokines. These protect against damaging UVA exposure, and cytokines are things like interleukin 4, interleukin 5. It's also working with interferon, IFN, gamma, okay? It's inhibiting COX-2 expression. These are all the biochemical genetic pathways that are utilized at this time when the body is being exposed to sun. So when we're in sun exposure, these are the things that are going on. And this is what TQ has been found to do for the person, for the body, even 24 hours after ingesting it. So for those of you guys that are down south, my southern friends, if you know, okay, if you've planned your weekend or something like that, and you know you're going to go for a boat ride and all this stuff, enjoy some blackseed oil the day before. So that way, within the 24 hours, you can have this already at a really good rate circulating in your blood, working for you and giving you, lengthening a little bit more of that time that you have to enjoy the sun's benefits even more. Now, it's so high in vitamin A. This is something that's going to strengthen collagen, your elastin fibers in the skin, reducing redness, reducing scarring, okay? High in fatty acids. This assists in diminishing of your brown spots, evening out your skin tone, maintaining a healthy lipid barrier for the skin. Anytime I work with someone and they say to me, my my scars don't heal in an adequate amount of time. That's an essential fatty acid deficiency that's going on here. So when you consume essential fatty acids, both plant-based and animal source-based, like cod liver oil is one of my favorites. It's also my favorite source of vitamin D as well, because everything's contained in that. But when your scarring is not healing and diminishing the way that it should in an ample amount of time, keep that in mind, because there's something off kilter with your essential fatty acids. Okay, and the body needs both. It doesn't only need EFAs from plant sources, because it can't maintain what it has to do solely on a plant-based source. It does need animal sources. There are biochemical targets and key points that animal sources hit that a plant source can't do for you. Okay, so it's not the same. Okay. Let's see. It's so rich in antioxidants. It's helping with free radical damage, which equals slowing down the aging process. If we can reduce our free radical damage, we can do really, really, really good with prolonging that aging process to where we can hold it off as much as we can, which is also bio-individual, also depending on the person's commitment to trying their best, to be their best, to live your best, to be as high vitality as you can be. That's very individual. There was a study in 2014 showing blackseed and coconut oil together. You mix some blackseed, you put a little coconut oil in there, promoting hair growth. That's phenomenal for a lot of us. I'm a mom to 5, and I went through a lot of hair loss right after each pregnancy. That was really hard. I didn't expect that. Okay. And the fact that you spent the entire— Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if that was a question for me. Was that a question for me, Landy?
Oh, no, sorry, I muted her. I got it.
Okay.
Somebody was just not muted. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a question for me. So it's promoting hair growth. Absolutely phenomenal. But I have a full head of hair. It feels like I lose so much, but promoting hair growth, I'm always down for that. Absolutely. In 2017, they showed that consuming black seed oil resulted in a 76% reduction in hair fallout. I mean, that's big, guys. This isn't like a 20% reduction, 30, 40% reduction. It's 76 reduction in hair fallout. That's amazing. It's a great pre-shampoo scalp massage treatment. Okay, you want to spend a little time, you have a day of self-care whenever we can schedule that in, right? Because it's so rare these days. Self-care and time for it is so hard. I find that difficult the more that we grow our family, and I wanted 2 more, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to sleep. I really do. I want to go to sleep. So it's, a toss up between 2 more babies and mom getting some sleep. So I think I'm gonna take the side of sleep for now. But these 2 things, its effect on degenerative diseases and its skin exposure, the benefits that it has for the skin, it is absolutely amazing. Reducing oxidative stress, that's the biggest thing I think with UVA and UVB exposure today, right? So much with the sun burning and the sun poisoning, which I think is really something else, not technically sun poisoning, but these people tend to have commercial sunscreens on, and then they spend 6 hours in the day of the sun, and then they're told that they've got sun poisoning. This is just oxidative stress, inflammatory responses, and mitochondrial dysfunction in your keratinocytes, and those are the major cell types of your epidermis at the very top of this layer here. Okay, so this has a direct effect, a positive therapeutic effect on these keratinocytes on the very, very tippy top of your epidermis. And so I know that Landy and I both had some really awesome questions sent into us. And so are we ready to cover those, Landy?
Yeah, I've got one here. Great question. I love this one. Which is better, Fulvic or BSO, and why?
Okay, so remember in the beginning I said that I've been in this field for a long, long time. So, um, just so you know, I've been self-teaching myself. I started that process 18 years ago. Um, and for very many, many years, I was constantly in the supplement industry, finding out what was available, what was effective, what was affordable. And so I want you to know that I don't take this lightly. When somebody says, what's better, Fulvic or Blackseed oil? Was that the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what was better, Fulvic or Blackseed oil?
Yeah.
So you should know when you decide on picking a supplement for your life and for your arsenal cabinet, right? Because I believe everybody should have a cabinet with some arsenal tools that are going to be effective for different things. First, you need to know Blackseed oil and Fulvic, that's opposite ends of the spectrum. They are not the same. They don't do the same. They don't even overlap, okay? Fulvic, we've got the most highly oxygenated supplement that's going to alter your pH, that's going to bring you, take you off the bridge of being acidic, falling off the bridge when you're so highly acidic and beginning to create an environment for very unhospitable situations, unhospitable organisms. Fulvic is going to do that for you. Fulvic is so loaded in minerals. I remember in our last time that we spent together, I reminded you guys need to know and you need to understand that minerals are the mortar that hold the bricks together. So it doesn't matter how rich in vitamins you want to be with your diet. If you don't have minerals, minerals are the catalysts that get these reactions going. They are the precursor to everything happening. If they're not there, nothing's going to happen. So it's as if you have all these supplies in your body. You have the supplies to do the work, but there are no workers. There's no working guys to go do the job for you. Minerals are the guys, the workers that we need that are going to take these supplies and get done with them what needs to happen. So Fulvic is so different because it targets something different, okay? TQ from black seed oil, that's a different thing too. Beneficial for degenerative diseases, targeting P53, making it an unhospitable environment for things you don't want to encounter in a very, very different format. So, which is better? Both of them. What do they do? Two different things that I just tried to briefly go over at this time. They're both in my arsenal. I'm never giving any one of them up. Another thing people always say, well, are these supplements for life? Do I have to be on something for life? It depends. It depends on when I meet you, where you are in your vitality in your life at that time. It depends how committed you are to getting things right. You don't manufacture vitamin C. Humans, dogs, and guinea pigs, we don't manufacture vitamin C. Will you be on vitamin C for life? In my opinion, yes. When is there ever a time you don't need vitamin C? So, fulvic, you need minerals on a day-to-day basis. What will change is how much you need. So maybe you don't always need an eighth of a teaspoon. Maybe your weekends are less busy than your work week. And so during the work week, you're every day taking your supplement regimen. And then on the weekends, you don't even know that you hadn't taken it because you're at rest. You're able to get a little bit of R&R, a little more than what you needed during the week. And so are supplements forever? Yes and no. It depends. It depends, on your biochemistry. How effective is it for you to utilize certain things and convert and synthesize these compounds that you need? So as far as black seed oil and fulvic, which is better? Both of them. Why? For the reasons that I went over. Let me see if I can switch here. Yeah, so this is a graphic here on black seed oil. This is everything that it targets: neuroprotective health. We know it's arthritis, anti-arthritis, anti-cancer. It does help regenerate some bones. It does phenomenal things for your skin, phenomenal things for those that in the pre-diabetic stage or those heading there, this is there was a study that confirmed improvement in sperm quality, sperm motility, sperm vitality. Okay, so for fertility and reproductive health, and the same thing for women also. Vibrant health in your ovaries, in your reproductive area, in your ovulation stages. I mean, this is just phenomenal for that. Fulvic doesn't touch these things in that manner. Fulvic goes around making these things better in a different format. So different supplements are going to target things for you. And like I said before, a lot of them overlap. A lot of supplements overlap on what their benefits are. But what you want is you want to be thoughtful about the supplements that you're getting. You want to get it for its most powerful state, right? And so hopefully, I think that I hope I did okay answering that question regarding fulvic and blackseed oil.
Absolutely amazing. Completely blew it out of the water. Do you have any more slides? If not, if you'll stop your share, or were you done with your slides, or?
There was just one more on CBD, because someone had asked me about comparing blackseed oil and CBD. So CBD, here we are here, okay? CBD is also another phenomenal thing I have in my tool belt of arsenal, right? On things that I use for beneficial purposes. This is different than BSO because this is specifically targeted to your endocannabinoid system, okay? Humans have an endocannabinoid system. We have CBD receptors from brain all the way down to the toes. Everywhere in the body, your parasympathetic system, your immune system, you've got CBD receptors absolutely everywhere. So as you can see, something like this is going to target a real different area in your body. Your endocannabinoid system deals with your reward system, your emotional happy and joy system, and your parasympathetic system that calms you down, right? So something like CBD is going to be beneficial if, are you someone that's always living in fight or flight? Do you need to be a little bit more calm? Because BSO is not going to do that for you. Fulvic is not going to do that for you in a sense of targeting your endocannabinoid system. Fulvic is gonna help you be very calm and relaxed, because usually things like anxiety, when your IBS acts up, those are mineral deficiencies, and we already know that fulvic is the richest in minerals, the richest in oxygen there. So I just wanted this here to show you guys quickly about that, but I will stop the share, and then that way Landy can take back over and we can see what else we can cover.
Absolutely. You crushed it, Ivy, as always. Absolutely love your trainings. I learn something new every single time. I'm kind of curious, Blackseed, since it's a cousin to Nigella sativa, also works with endocannabinoid, but is it different? Is it less, or is that something like to research more, or just?
Does blackseed oil also work with the endocannabinoid system? I'm sure that it does, but I think that where the studies are going with science and scientists and what they're looking into it for its super powerful benefit effects of degenerative diseases. We know that CBD, yes, they are related and there's some distant cousins to each other. But like I said, I think the power of blackseed oil is TQ. And what TQ does with degenerative diseases, things like cholesterol and diabetes and cancers and to that nature, CBD can't really touch that. When you get into brain cancers, you're going to want something that's high THC to cross that blood-brain barrier, and that's going to target that. And so I think, does it help with the endocannabinoid system? Yes, it does, in an indirect way, because it doesn't actually target the endocannabinoid system. It interacts with the endocannabinoid system because of its other mechanisms that it does behind the scenes for the person's body.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Who learned something tonight? Raise your hand, do some applause. I mean, come on, you guys. This was incredible. Ivy, thank you so much for your knowledge, your expertise. You're such a blessing to us. We appreciate you greatly. Everybody, look at all the hands going up, all the love you're getting. So thank you guys again for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Ivy. Coach Marcus Jones, he has a business opportunity call. If you guys invited anybody to that, it is starting right now. So you want to jump off and get on that right now. And I'll go ahead and stop the recording.